Ever found yourself staring at your screen, that little notification saying withdrawal initiated, and then nothing? Just the digital equivalent of crickets chirping? You're not alone. When it comes to moving your money, especially from platforms like Newton, one of the first and most pressing questions on everyone's mind is, how long is this going to take? We live in an age of instant gratification. We can order food and have it at our doorstep in minutes, stream movies on demand, and connect with people across the globe in the blink of an eye. So, when it comes to our finances, that expectation of speed naturally carries over. You click a button, you expect your funds to appear in your bank account almost instantaneously. But the reality of financial transactions, especially those involving cryptocurrency, can be a little more nuanced. Now, before we dive into the specifics of Newton withdrawals, let's take a step back and understand why these things aren't always instant. Think of the journey your money takes when you initiate a withdrawal. It's not just a simple digital transfer from point A to point B. There are multiple layers involved, each with its own potential processing time. First, there's the platform itself, in this case, Newton. When you hit that withdrawal button, Newton needs to verify your request. This isn't just a formality, it's a crucial security measure to protect your funds. They need to ensure it's really you making the request and that all the details are correct. This verification process can involve checking your account status, confirming your linked bank account details, and sometimes even manual review for larger or unusual transactions. Then comes the actual processing by Newton. Once your request is verified, Newton needs to initiate the transfer. This involves interacting with their own internal systems and potentially the blockchain if you're withdrawing cryptocurrency to an external wallet. This step itself has its own inherent processing time, depending on the volume of withdrawal requests they are currently handling and the efficiency of their systems. But the journey doesn't end there. Your funds then need to travel through the traditional banking system. This is where things can sometimes feel like they slow down. Banks operate on their own schedules and have their own internal processes for handling incoming and outgoing transfers. These processes can involve batch processing, security checks, and reconciliation procedures. Depending on your bank and the time of day or day of the week you initiate the withdrawal, this leg of the journey can vary in duration. And if you're withdrawing cryptocurrency to an external wallet, there's another layer to consider, the blockchain network itself. Each cryptocurrency transaction needs to be validated and confirmed by the network of miners or validators. The speed of this confirmation depends on the specific blockchain, its current network congestion, and the transaction fees you've included. Some blockchains are known for their faster transaction times, while others can experience delays during periods of high activity. So, with all these moving parts, it's clear that a simple answer to how long does a Newton withdrawal take isn't always possible. However, we can definitely provide you with some general expectations and factors that can influence the timeline. Let's focus specifically on fiat withdrawals from Newton to your linked bank account. Generally, Newton states that fiat withdrawals are typically processed within 1 to 3 business days. Notice the emphasis on business days. This means weekends and public holidays are usually not included in this time frame. So, if you initiate a withdrawal late on a Friday, you might not see the funds in your account until the middle of the following week. However, it's important to understand that this is just an estimated time frame. In some cases, you might receive your funds much faster, perhaps even within the same day or the next business day. On the other hand, there can be instances where the process takes the full 3 business days or even slightly longer. So, what are some of the factors that can affect the processing time of your Newton fiat withdrawal? 1. Verification status. If your Newton account is newly created or if you haven't completed the full verification process, this can sometimes lead to delays in processing withdrawals. Ensuring your account is fully verified with all the necessary documentation submitted and approved is crucial for smooth transactions. 2. Withdrawal amount. Larger withdrawal amounts might be subject to additional security checks and manual review by Newton, which can naturally add to the processing time. This is a standard practice in the financial industry to prevent fraudulent activities. 3. Time of withdrawal. As mentioned earlier, the time of day and the day of the week you initiate the withdrawal can play a significant role. Withdrawals initiated outside of normal business hours or on weekends might not be processed until the next business day. 4. Bank processing times. Once Newton has processed the withdrawal and sent the funds to your bank, the speed at which your bank credits your account is beyond Newton's direct control. Different banks have different processing times for incoming transfers. Some banks might process them quickly, while others might take longer. 5. System maintenance or technical issues. Like any online platform, Newton can occasionally experience system maintenance or technical issues. While they strive to minimize disruptions, these events can sometimes temporarily impact withdrawal processing times. 6. High volume periods. During periods of high trading activity or significant market events, Newton might experience a higher volume of withdrawal requests, which could potentially lead to slightly longer processing times. Now, let's talk about cryptocurrency withdrawals from Newton to an external wallet. This process involves the blockchain network, which introduces another set of variables. Generally, Newton aims to process cryptocurrency withdrawals relatively quickly. Once you initiate the withdrawal and it's approved by Newton, they will broadcast the transaction to the relevant blockchain network. The time it takes for the transaction to be confirmed on the blockchain depends on several factors. 1. Network congestion. Just like highways can get congested during rush hour, blockchain networks can experience periods of high traffic. During these times, transactions might take longer to be included in a block and confirmed. 2. Transaction fees. Most blockchain networks require you to pay a small transaction fee, often called gas fees, to incentivize miners or validators to process your transaction. If you set a very low fee, your transaction might take significantly longer to be confirmed as miners prioritize transactions with higher fees. 3. Specific cryptocurrency. Different cryptocurrencies have different blockchain architectures and average block times. For example, Bitcoin transactions typically take around 10 minutes per confirmation, while other blockchains might have much faster block times. Newton will usually provide an estimate of the network fees associated with your withdrawal. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.